And welcome back to the ARMS North American Open, October 2020. Jordan Kent along here with EE and Coney. We just got done with our winners final. Astro Ninja moving on to grand finals, which means we begin our journey down in the losers bracket. And when we start off in the losers bracket, Coney, we have Para down there who probably gave Astro Ninja their best run for the money. So you figure Para once again trying to have another grand finals rematch against Astro Ninja, a repeat of the August 2020 Open. And so far, it's been some very exciting action where you really can't sleep at the end of any particular round. But as you roadmap the losers, semifinals, and finals, it seems like Para is our favorite down there, Coney.
No question. Para not only gave Astro Ninja the best run for his money today, but also historically in the past, as Para has met Astro Ninja multiple times in finals, you have to imagine he's going to try to blaze through that bracket. That said, Jean-Marc showed a little bit of gumption taking Goof to game 5 earlier. So we'll see if Jean-Marc has something up his sleeve. I'm wondering if Para against Jean-Marc that's going to be a Kid Cobra mirror match, because both of them using Kid Cobra earlier. We know that Para usually uses Springman or Ninjara, but I'm very interested to see sort of what characters we'll see on display in this upcoming match.
And EE with Para, yes, it was 3-1 against Astro Ninja, but there were several times that Para had the round in hand and just couldn't close things out. It really required Astro Ninja to have some heroic efforts the final seconds of each particular round. So if you're Para, you're looking to play a little bit more disciplined until the match is over, it seems like.
I think that's the thing for Para. Like, you understand you get your opponent down to, a sliver of health, a very winnable spot, and you try and force it sometimes. Like, you just gotta let the game come to you, because you gotta keep in mind, like, they have to come and mount that comeback. You know what I'm saying? They have to kind of make some mistakes as well. You just have to be patient enough to take advantage. Para has shown that he is immaculate in his gameplay. It's just that one little facet that he's missing that would help so much. For somebody like Jean-Marc, let me tell you something. Wait, he's no stranger to losers bracket. Remember, 0-2 is where he started out and then made it to the Final Four, okay? So this guy's a grinder, okay? I'm not counting him out by any means, but we're going to have a heck of a showdown to open up semis.
Yeah, Jean-Marc, one of the best players coming from Canada, has won 13 online tournaments over the last couple of years. And if you're taking a look at their play styles here, Coney, one thing we saw from Jean-Marc is when you throw out a rush attack against Jean-Marc, they're going to try and get into your blind spot. So it sounds like, once again, that cat and mouse game of who has the rush attack and who's going to throw it out first will play a huge role in this matchup between Jean-Marc and Para.
That's one of the reasons I'm so interested in what characters they're going to choose, right? Because if they both go Kid Cobra, one of the fastest dashes in the game, goes such a far distance, how well are they going to evade each other? You also have a little bit of a dynamic if Para does opt to go with Ninjara, just because of the way that the dash functions there. It's that disappearing act. So I'm interested to see how all of these factors can play into each other, and I think we'll have a good sense that as soon as it loads in. And then I know I'm always the guy harping on this, but stage is critical. Stage is so important for these guys. Both of them have shown that they can play very aggressive, very sort of in your face while dodging, bobbing, and weaving play styles. And I think whoever gets a stage that's better suited to their particular brand of Cobra, I think that's what we're going to see.
All right, let's get set for our first match here. Loser semifinals. Para taking on Jean-Marc. We saw Para once again really give Astro Ninja a run for their money. Our first participant in the winners grand finals.
Yes,
and there
sir.
we go. Appearing on the stage like a cloud of smoke. Para going with Ninjara. Go ahead and smash the mirror here. Let's get a nice little dynamic matchup. And Para right now, you see with that tri-bolt and, of course, that roaster in the left hand for Jean-Marc. You've got the roaster and the chakram as well, too, in that right. So this will be a fascinating matchup here. And already, early on, Jean-Marc taking some damage from Para. And that's what you like to see if you're Para, going with Ninjara, having things work out for you. Is that cloud of smoke working well for Para. Early on right now here at EE, early determinations is that, well, Jean-Marc made the most of his rush attack right there.
Absolutely. And I really like this strategy from Para. Obviously, we know he's a very seasoned Ninjara player, and you're kind of giving Jean-Marc a different look, right? He hasn't faced off against a Ninjara, so this is a little bit of a curveball for him coming in, and maybe not going to be the character he sticks with throughout the entirety of it, but why not try and steal that first game if possible? He's got that rush opportunity, is knocking. Will he bust down the door? Oh my God, getting clipped out of that rush. So all things still up for grabs.
And that was huge right there, Coney. Jean-Marc able to negate the rush of Para.
This is what we talked about time and again about the patience needed to be able to use that rush only where it's necessary. The double dash from Para is not going to be enough, and you have to imagine if he was Kid Cobra, he was well and away from that rush, but because of the disappearing act of Ninjara coming back into it, I think he was clipped by the very end of that rush. One thing that EE said that I think is going to be particularly salient here is I don't know if we're going to see Ninjara all the way through. Ninjara has been a character that has been found somewhat lacking in the top level of this game. He sort of had a time to shine early on in the game back in 2017, but now not really the most favorite of opponents. So maybe this might be a good first round pick, but I doubt we're going to see it all the way through from Para, especially after the way that last match ended.
Yeah, that chakram right at the end, saving the bacon, Canadian bacon of Jean-Marc at the very end. I'm sorry. So here we go. Para gets thrown here by Jean-Marc, and it's all Jean-Marc in this second round, and the rush attack coming out as well, too. Jean-Marc trying to hold things down right now at this point. Para trying to battle back. Para so far doesn't have the lateral mobility of Jean-Marc. We're doing a good job of just avoiding some of those arms coming in. See the warning sign flash up. Para able to recover. 58 seconds left. Jean-Marc sending Para to the canvas, and EE, this is when Jean-Marc wants to close things in and come in with that Cobra bite as he does right there.
Yeah, that chakram right on the money. Wasn't even close in that one. So you got to imagine Para, he's going to go ahead and tuck that Ninjara back into the pocket and get a little more serious here, because that was not the game, not the round he was looking to start things off with.
No, certainly wasn't. You have to give a lot of credit to Jean-Marc for really falling down early in that first round, but recalibrating here, Coney. And we talked about that rush mechanic was going to be huge. Well, Jean-Marc really didn't wait for Para to throw out those rush attacks. We saw Jean-Marc play a very aggressive play style in those 2 rounds.
Yeah, just let it rip right there, and it looks like Para is going to continue letting the Ninjara rip, which I'm a little bit surprised by. I don't pretend to know exactly what, Para's mind is here. He's obviously in the competitor's seat more than any of us, but we're here on DNA Lab, and I feel like Jean-Marc's evasion is just going to serve him even better on a stage this large. Maybe Para feels like he has some games to play with, too. Maybe to try a character like this, but we know how talented he is. We'll just see if he can find the answer against Jean-Marc here, who seems to have a lot of things locked down. It's pretty even thus far, but Para is in the corner.
No changes in arms for both these fighters in DNA Lab. Pretty even, as you said, once again, Coney, but Jean-Marc just blasting through that DNA glass tube sends Para to the canvas. Para trying to retaliate once again, but Jean-Marc EE able to evade with Kid Cobra and stop that rush attack.
Absolutely. The evasionness that you're seeing from Kid Cobra and just the overall style of Jean-Marc, right? He's really beating Para to the punches, literally. In a lot of these situations, you just add those containers, just kind of weave around. It's almost a recipe for disaster. Para trying to keep pace, not doing a terrible job, but it seems like down the stretch, those closing moments, that's where you see Jean-Marc just really be the difference maker. But Para right now has a rush, but so does Jean-Marc.
Both fighters with a rush attack that'll most likely determine who wins this round. Para using the DNA tube for a little bit of protection. We see Jean-Marc ducking between those as well too. And here comes the rush attack out from Jean-Marc. And Jean-Marc, the aggression pays off. Put your foot on the pedal and pass on the left as Jean-Marc continues to control this match with Kid Cobra. And that's what you're looking for, Coney, is the versatility in play styles. We saw more defensive approaches from Jean-Marc earlier on in that winner's semifinals, but now it's Jean-Marc trying to dictate the pace of this one.
Yeah, no question. And again, I hate to harp on this much, but maybe Para doesn't feel comfortable in a Kid Cobra ditto. Maybe he doesn't feel as particularly comfortable using Springman, but Ninjara is just... Every time I see him dashing away or trying to use the parry to dash in and out, it's just not functioning as well. I could see him doing so much more if he had the full dash of Kid Cobra or if he had faster arms, but Para just does not seem to be able to get anything going here. Jean-Marc is dictating the pace consistently.
Yeah, Jean-Marc extinguishing that rush attack from Para. That's a huge turn of events in this second round. Oh, but Jean-Marc, left arm goes limp. Para can't connect with the throw. That'll give Jean-Marc time to recover here. And now Jean-Marc, EE showing us where that patience comes into play. I can go ahead and slow it down if I need to.
Oh yeah, he already knows. Like, listen, there's this plenty of time on the clock. I'm in no rush. I have the advantage already as far as like game wins go. So I've been in this situation before. Both players with the rush, that could be very decisive in who's going to get the leg up. We could potentially see something go to time, Jordan. I mean, very, very disciplined play from both players, but Para able to connect with a big time rush, and he needed that.
Para, the big time rush, followed by the charged roaster, and you see double roaster, Coney, coming out for Para in that second round. So you continue to experiment with Ninjara, and it seems like you found the tools at your disposal, but Jean-Marc, talk about a rude awakening to start this round. Rush attack able to connect, and already has a huge early advantage against Para. And now you get into a situation where you're playing with a sizable lead, Coney, and you have a lot of options as far as your play style.
He dashed right up in there with the full rush and let it rip immediately, and now he can sort of afford to back up just a little bit and force Para to come to him. If you'll notice, he actually is he's almost laughing Para. Para's been throwing out a lot more arms, though, and now he's getting stuck a little bit more. Para putting on a bit of a clinic here. Now Jean-Marc is in the back seat. He needs to find a way to build this rush as soon as possible. Otherwise, Para's going to let it go. But that roaster doing so much damage, 140 charge. Para might be able to let this happen.
Para still sitting on that rush attack. Felt like he had a couple of openings and tries to go with the counter rush, but it's too late. Jean-Marc able to beat Para to the draw, and Jean-Marc taking that second round. So Jean-Marc will go ahead and move up 2-0 over Para. And you're sitting there wondering, Para's got to win this round to make it 1-1. Knocked down Jean-Marc a few times, but still sat on that rush attack.
He tried to do exactly what Jean-Marc did to win their first game, right? He tried to take to the sky and just beat his rush with his own. Unfortunately, he got to the jump, but the punch was already there, okay? It was already ascending, already hitting him right on the mark. So Jean-Marc just not at all faltering, and you love to see that, right? But how about the conviction of Para to stick with this Ninjara? He believes his character can get the job done. He has quite the hill to climb. Maybe literally consider her own scrapyard. We'll see if he can get it done.
EE, do you know the definition of insanity?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it's doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I don't know if Ninjara here is the right pick. Again, listen, I'm not trying to roast Para. I'm not trying to come at him, but it didn't work the first few times, and I think Springman or even a Kid Cobra Mirror would have been better. This matchup does not look particularly good. It feels like Jean-Marc just has the evasiveness and the longer dashes to get away from Para consistently. Para doing a much better job this time, though. Has Jean-Marc's back against the wall, not going to get the full rush. Might eat one of his own, and he does.
Yeah, Jean-Marc, fine job of moving around that pillar and able to get right into the defenses of Para to get that rush attack off. Jean-Marc, though, just at about 20% health. Para's got a slight advantage. Plenty of time left in this one. No more pillars for cover at this point. Jean-Marc, one punch away from losing this first round, and Para able to connect through both of those roasters. So Jean-Marc might be insane, as some people say, but finding success here. Some people, Coney. Some people. I'm just saying.
I would love to eat my words. I really would. I would love to see Ninjara come all the way through. Let me be clear. This is out of love for Para. It's not out of any, I'm not trying to criticize the kid for no reason. He's doing an excellent job here as he lands another rush up against the wall. Jean-Marc not able to use that evasiveness for very long. And it feels like neither of them really using the verticality of this stage to great effect. Para finally taking the high ground, and I think it's because Jean-Marc has the rush. This might be a good means of defense against it. Excellent hit.
Para putting a stop to that rush attack. So it sounds like Para has really found a rhythm here with Ninjara EE, having no issues whatsoever in this second round.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, this has just been a complete clapback. Like, he just knew back against the wall. What do? I respond, and he responds in a major way, almost perfecting Jean-Marc, just getting completely obliterated on Scrapyard.
So Para making things interesting here. Goes ahead and takes a game off of Jean-Marc. So we'll get set for game 4 here in losers semifinals. And what seemed different that time here, Coney, is you're trying to figure out the difference in play style here or there, is it just seemed like Para was much more successful and accurate with their arms. We rarely saw a lot of those misses we were seeing in DNA Lab, and that didn't give Kid Cobra and Jean-Marc much room to operate because you're having to eat all these roasters punch after punch after punch.
I think it's a mix of the stage and the aggression that we saw from Para that was I feel like he finally has sort of a feel of exactly what Jean-Marc is doing, where he's going to go, where he's going to dash. And because of that, the evasion that Jean-Marc we've seen so much isn't really his strong suit here. The problem now is via Dolce, Jean-Marc is able to back Para into the corner, and here we're going to see if Para can fight his way out.
And this is what's fascinating. Jean-Marc taking the middle part of that S shape of this stage where you have the most maneuverability left to right, which is what Kid Cobra wants to utilize. Para trying to dig himself out of that corner, able to do so. Both fighters with the rush attack ready to go, but it's all about Jean-Marc and stage control here.
Absolutely. You see where he's trying to position himself, right? He's trying to force Para into these corners, these tight enclosures. So honestly, that advantage that Ninjara does have is almost negated, really not becoming a factor. Jean-Marc trying to take his time, but no, Para just going to drag him in and get right in his face. Gotta admire the gumption and the guts that this man is playing with. Tries to mix him up a little bit, but Jean-Marc not going to allow him to get the full benefit of that rush.
Won't argue with 130 off a rush attack. You're going to take whatever you can get right now, but Jean-Marc much more successful with their rush attack. 235 on Para. So Para now backed up in the corner. Jean-Marc coming a little bit closer here, Coney, and that's going to make him pay because Para able to clear some real estate.
This is very impressive for Para. If you realize his back is in the corner, he has to not only evade, but he has to match punches with Jean-Marc over and over, and he's doing it despite being in an unfavorable position, maybe playing some rope-a-dope with Jean-Marc there, because I felt like Para's back was to the wall that entire game, and he's still outplaying him. This is nuts.
Para so quick to negate and counter everything that Jean-Marc was throwing out down the stretch. Jean-Marc switching things up and going with the Slamamander in that right arm. Let's see if that'll change things up here at all. Para still rocking both roasters at this point. Plenty of time left here. Rush attack coming out from Jean-Marc. Jean-Marc doing what he does best. 385 EE. Wow. That'll go ahead and open up this round.
I'm telling you, you want to get some maximum use off of your rush. There you go. Look no further. Jean-Marc, he is definitely striking right now. And this is probably what he was looking to get going in that last game, right? This is the control-based style that we've come to expect from him, especially on a stage like Via Dolce and Para. He is down to just a sliver, not too much going, still just swinging though. And I love the grab, so you already know this kid's not going to give up at any point in time, as he's shown by sticking with this Ninjara.
Para opening things up with the grab, but it's going to be the roaster that connects from Jean-Marc. And so Coney, that round, listen, this isn't AP arms here. It isn't very difficult. That 385 rush attack was the difference.
Yeah, no question. It comes down to the rush time and again, and now both of them holding on to it. You could tell that both of them want to make sure that it lands because it can be such a difference maker. Para, keeping his distance, has shown that he can fight himself, even if his back is to the wall, even if he's in the corner, he can sort of outmatch Jean-Marc sometimes. But that Slap-A-Mander, I think, is going to do great for him. The Chakram wasn't really doing as much, but that Slap-A-Mander might be able to clap him. You can see it coming all the way on the side, and it's actually avoiding the straight arms of Para here. I think that's an excellent choice.
Para trying to stay alive. This rush attack racks up 350. That'll go a long way towards forcing a Game 5. Jean-Marc trying to pull off a monumental upset against Para to advance to losers finals, trying to eliminate the second place finisher in the August 2020 North American Open. Jean-Marc and Para, both fighters nearing that 25% health mark. And EE once again, Jean-Marc trying to pin Para in a corner.
This is where Jean-Marc needs to strike. You got him in the corner. All things should be going on your side. Para, though, showing the resilience that we saw in that opening game and still was able to take it. Can he do it yet again and force the overtime? I think we're all eager to see just a sliver of health left. That's Jean-Paul keeping his foot on the gas. Both players with the rush. Who's going to let it fly first? It's going to be Para, but Jean-Marc with the clap back. Great counter usage, and he's going to get the dub.
It's the evasion. It's the evasion. Again, Jean-Marc saw the rush. He knew that Para was going to do the jump into the dash, which makes him disappear and then reappear. Jean-Marc just casually steps to the side and throws it out. I'm telling you, it's the dash. That's the difference in this matchup. And Jean-Marc was just one step ahead there. That was tough for Para. Very tough.
And Coney, that's what we saw from Jean-Marc earlier in the winners semifinals.
Yep.
Against Goof, was really waiting for Goof to throw out the rush attack and then counter. For the majority of that match, it was all about Jean-Marc being the aggressor. But we said before, this is someone that has a lot of variance in their play style and really switched that defensive mindset to go ahead and snatch the victory away from Para. And so EE, this is a big time upset right here. Because coming into this, the best that Jean-Marc did in any of these North American Opens was 9th place in the August 2020 Open. So how about that? Jean-Marc, once again, taking the long route to try and get to grand finals. Let's take a look at the updated bracket here as Jean-Marc gives us more drama. So it'll be a rematch of the earlier winners semifinals between Jean-Marc and Goof. We'll see if Jean-Marc and the hot gloves can continue the role here. And so as we revisit this here, it seemed like before Jean-Marc really struggled to find the ability to be aggressive against Goof, was really reacting most of the time. Do you feel like that'll be the key for Jean-Marc to be the one that dictates the pace of this match?
Well, listen, we're gonna have to roll the dice and see what stages we get. That's gonna be tremendous in deciding like where this really goes. Like obviously in their semis, hey, it went the distance. Okay, so we already know Goof capable of getting the W. But how about Jean-Marc? You said it best. Likes to take the long route to see some success and accomplish a few things. So this rematch, this opportunity, this is going to be something you really want to keep your eye on. It's going to be go a long way in determining who exactly could give Astro Ninja the best fight in grand finals.
Big thank you once again to Para. We always love Para out here in these competitions here, Coney. As we've said before, nothing but respect for Para. Has always given us a tremendous showing. So 5,000 My Nintendo Gold points will go to Para. So kudos once again to Para. All right, let's get set for this losers finals here. As we said before, Goof taking on Jean-Marc. And from Goof, we saw the Dr. Coil that really liked to play a patient game and really utilize the attributes of the stage, Coney. And I'm going to just go ahead and set you up because you've been saying it this afternoon. Stage, stage, stage.
That's it. That's really what it comes down to, especially if we're going to see Kid Cobra against Dr. Coil again. If you remember, cast your mind back to maybe an hour ago, I don't know, but a little while ago, and we saw Goof against Jean-Marc, and it was all about sparring ring. Anytime Jean-Marc got sparring ring, it was an easy dub. That's how he won the 2 games. But anytime it was anything other than that, I think the 2 options were, I think he lost once on Temple Grounds, if I'm not mistaken, and twice on Scrapyard. Things were so much harder for him. And I think the difference there is Jean-Marc is not able to really lock down Goof. Oh, no, actually, it was this stage. Because if you remember, the trampoline opened up, and Jean-Marc had no approach. So he has to be very careful in getting his grabs here, because if he blows open that trampoline, he's going to be in a world of trouble.
Yeah, and if I'm Goof, I'm going to go ahead and just blow up that trampoline. Let the party begin at this point. Make things much more difficult for Jean-Marc here. So we'll see how Jean-Marc handles the round stage of Mausoleum. No pillars to get in the way. And already Jean-Marc connecting with a nice little 1-2 against Goof, pulling out that Slamamander that brought success against Para. And all right, Jean-Marc, rush attack ready to go, mowing down Goof early on here at EE.
Yeah, and honestly, just the way he's already started things off, I mean, what a dominant performance. And think about this, if Jean-Marc gets past Goof, who's he face next? Astro Ninja. He's going to be well prepped and prepared to go against another top-level Coil.
They couldn't even wrap the mummy before that one. Jean-Marc, quick early victory against Goof here. So let's see if Jean-Marc can continue to apply the pressure. And that's the difference that stands out right now, Coney, is Jean-Marc. Oh, look at the evasion.
Oh, my God. He didn't even block. He didn't have to. He just dashed right through it.
Oh, my goodness. Goof. Definitely not a snake charmer here because Jean-Marc able just to avoid that rush attack completely with style. Jean-Marc getting back up. Goof still facing the deficit. And Coney, before I saw that brilliant display of defensive capabilities coming from Jean-Marc, I wanted to point out, we are seeing a much more aggressive Jean-Marc this time around.
Well, maybe not anymore. The trampoline has blown itself wide open, which means Goof can just put himself on the opposite end. He doesn't even have to worry about jumping because he can float right over the trampoline. That's 370 off a rush. Jean-Marc has to pray that this rush lands, or maybe he just holds on to it. But even still, if you do that, that means that Goof gets free reign to build as much rush as he wants on the other side of the stage. Jean-Marc's worst nightmare has come true as the trampoline is blown open. We'll see if he can adapt and overcome.
Yeah, Jean-Marc trying to use that trampoline to approach. Rush attack comes, though, able to connect. Don't sleep on it yet. 380. A little chip damage as well, too. Jean-Marc on even footing. Goof has a rush attack ready to go, but Jean-Marc can't block it, so Goof will take the second round. And my goodness, what an interesting turn of events on Mausoleum. Now that the trampoline is exposed, it gives Jean-Marc one more obstacle to deal with here at EE. Let's see how he counters, but already it seems like Jean-Marc is taking the long route, much like his journey through this tournament, to try and approach Goof here, EE.
He's not having a choice. The trampoline, like you just saw, like compare what we saw in the opening to where we are now. The trampoline is really affecting his ability to approach and continue to be aggressive. I think that's what was catching Goof off ground. You know what I'm saying? Now the fact that you have that trampoline out there, you know which way he's going to elect to approach, because if he comes through the center, he's going to be jumping. That's something that Goof's going to be looking to exploit and capitalize on. Both players with the meter right now, but Goof, just the situational advantage is going to go so far.
Yeah, both fighters trading off a couple of charged roasters to knock off some health here, but a pretty even match as we get close to the halfway mark. Both rush attacks coming out, and those will basically cancel each other out. So Jean-Marc, that has to be a win, though, in your book, Coney, because you're able to get a little bit closer for a moment.
Yeah, just for a second, you have to take the wins where you can get them. Every single yard counts in this game, so hopefully Jean-Marc can parlay that into a victory. I'm not sure if I used that word right, but we're going to let it rock.
You did. You did.
Okay, good.
That
Thank
absolutely
you.
sounded great. If I'm sitting watching this, I'm thinking that Coney sounds like a genius.
Good.
All right.
I'm glad we let that one go. But yeah, he's gonna land the grab there, and Goof, unfortunately for Jean-Marc, it might be over for him. He does have to rush. He's gonna let it go before Jean-Marc gets one of his own to counter, and Goof putting one on the board despite getting perfected in that first round. It just the floor opened up, and from there on out, it was nothing but zeros.
Yeah, if I'm Goof, I'm buying a pretzel for the trampoline after that, though, because that's what really changed things up at the end of this one here, EE. That trampoline completely negated any approach that Jean-Marc was trying to do, and at that point made it so difficult for Jean-Marc to find those openings. And obviously, Goof understands the situation. I'm going to use my mobility and the fact that the stage plays to my favor to close it out.
I think what Jean-Marc can at least take away from that is the fact, like, okay, I know my more aggressive in-your-face style, it was working. Obviously, Mausoleum, just the layout of the stage when the trampoline makes its appearance, it does interfere with that. But depending on where we go next, he can re-implement the style and maybe tie things up one-on-one.
And what was fascinating as well, too, is Jean-Marc being much more aggressive, Coney. That's why I'm excited to see if they get a stage where there isn't this huge variable like the trampoline or something large like Scrapyard. And okay, maybe somewhat of a variable here, though, Coney, because you've talked about that bench and how really Dr. Coyle just ignores it.
Yeah, I don't know, because at first glance, if Jean-Marc can corner Goof into the other side, it's very easy to catch them in the narrow hook. As you can see right here, Jean-Marc is able to do that, but Goof doesn't have to worry about the table there in the center. Meanwhile, Jean-Marc does. He's going to have to jump over it, and I feel like this is the best spot possible for Jean-Marc where he is right now. But I don't know how much of a hindrance it's going to be to Coyle, just because she can just float right over that thing as Goof puts on an early lead.
Yeah, Goof with the throw tosses Jean-Marc down to the lower ground and continues to apply that pressure. Oh, but Jean-Marc able to slither in there and apply a little bit more pressure themselves. Rush attack, once again, a couple of air balls coming out from Goof. So Jean-Marc will try to connect on this rush attack, and certainly does. Mops up 300 damage, EE. That's how you get yourself back into this round.
No doubt about it, keeping things incredibly close, and this is what you want to see, right? You don't want to get in that situation where you're just trailing so far behind. Again, Coyle, a lot of advantages you can argue on this stage, as Coney did allude to. But right now, it is Jean-Marc who is simply trying to set the pace, come out slanging, not doing too bad of a job.
The Fun Chuck able to connect on Jean-Marc, so Goof with a slight health advantage, and Goof once again, Coney, closing things out with a rush attack.
Yeah, you saw it right there. He was trying to throw out those arms a little bit to the left, hoping Goof would dash off that way or maybe go off to the side, but Goof is not giving it to him. Goof is holding his ground, not dashing in either direction, because that Jean-Marc has to sort of recalibrate his aim. That's where the top-level arms play really shows up. You have to not only predict where your opponent's going to go, or sometimes where they're not going to go.
A couple of dunks back and forth from both fighters to open things up in the second round. Jean-Marc with another grab on Goof. So Jean-Marc trying to really close the gap here once again. And this is what we're seeing here, EE. Now Jean-Marc has gone away from going left and right and more north and south with those dashes to close the ground.
Yeah, love the fact that he was really using those grabs to perfection. And just look at that, just slithering himself right in there. And now you see Goof, he is all but done for. This has Jean-Marc's name written all over. What a great response he has really put up, creating a little bit of distance and just 1-2 combination to end that round.
Jean-Marc with another impressive victory in this round. So now we go to a third and decisive round to see if Jean-Marc can even things up, or Goof trying to build a huge lead here in losers finals. Rush attack early from Goof, that's no good. Jean-Marc trying to get closer. That's been the theme here on Buster Beach. No social distancing here as Jean-Marc tries to get up close and apply that pressure. Goof, however, trying to back up, connects with the left roaster. Funchuck gets knocked down to the ground, and Coney, Jean-Marc has really seemed to have found a comfortable play style here against Goof.
Yeah, I think I thought that it was going to be side to side in terms of where he's at his best, but no, he seems to be at his best when he's sitting at the head of the table with Goof on the other side. Unfortunately, Goof starting to rally back. We'll see if Jean-Marc can land this rush. It feels like if the match goes longer than 20 seconds, Goof is probably going to win it. Jean-Marc is just coming through him like a buzzsaw, and those are the matches he's winning. If he can just run over Goof again and again, that rush might change things, though, here. Hopefully, if he can land a couple more hits, he might be able to take this game.
Jean-Marc trying to turn the tide with that rush attack has played brilliantly over the last 15 seconds to get back into this one. Goof, though, huge connection with the left, trying to lead up into the rush attack combo. Remember, you will not be KO'd by chip damage, so Jean-Marc has to be flawless the final 25 seconds if they want to extend this match. However, Goof trying to close things out here. Can't connect with either that roaster or Funchuck. Jean-Marc has a rush attack ready to go, but Goof, brilliant display of defensive capabilities, and now with 7 seconds left, that's gonna do it. All Goof has to do is just wait this out, and the left roaster to the face of Jean-Marc will give Goof their second game, just one game away from moving on to grand finals. And EE, once again, Goof just doing enough at the end of this one, and really to Coney's point here, EE, the longer the match goes, the more it seems to favor Goof.
Oh, absolutely. And that was just brilliant play the last 5 seconds. Let me just go ahead and let my rush go just to threaten you, right? You're at such a low percentage. It's like, I'm not even trying to close it out. I'm just trying to keep you at bay. So whether I win by time or off of your mistake, which we did happen, Goof all but had that one wrapped up.
Well, last time these two faced off against each other, Coney, this was the same story. We saw Goof go up 2-0. Jean-Marc clawed back to tie things up and force a Game 5. Will that be the case now, or will Goof reign supreme in Temple Grounds and move along to grand finals? Goof right now, no changes, going with that roaster and Funchuck. Jean-Marc, though, we see the change here, Coney, going with that Burchuck.
We saw him use Burchuck earlier to great effect, getting that freeze into the rush, sometimes into the grab, which does just so well for Kid Cobra because it gets that extra damage. Have to see if he's able to land it here. Has not had a lot of success thus far. I think Temple Grounds, unfortunately, is not going to favor him as much as Sparring Ring did in that early set, in the first set that they played in Winners. So I'm not sure how this is going to go for Jean-Marc early on. It does not seem good. He tries to get behind the pillar for the rush, but nothing doing as Goof puts himself up in a great lead.
Yeah, Goof doing a fine job of just blasting through that pillar to get that rush attack to connect. So Goof with a very comfortable lead. 45 seconds left. Jean-Marc will really have to play aggressive, but regardless of what Jean-Marc is throwing out, Goof is just reading, sending right back in the direction of Jean-Marc. Now it's just one hit away for Goof. They can land it. They'll go ahead and take the first round. Jean-Marc trying to hide behind the pillar. Rush attack ready to go for both of them. Jean-Marc tries to throw out the rush attack. However, it's going to be Goof that finally connects here. So Goof taking the first round, and you like that finish there, Coney.
Yeah, you saw them just throwing arms back and forth. Whoever was going to land it was going to get a considerable lead. Obviously, Goof was going to win the round if he landed one, but meanwhile, Jean-Marc, if he landed one hit off that rush, he might have been just an inch away from winning. Fortunately for him, it was not meant to be, and the Burchuck is packed away once again as we're back to the double straight arms.
So Goof, what we've seen here, EE, has built up some early leads, and when Goof can do that, my goodness, does it change things for Jean-Marc, because now Goof just reads and reacts to everything that Jean-Marc is throwing out.
And that's his natural habitat too, right? Like, he wants you to be in a position where you have to come to him, you have to play the catch-up game. So you allow Goof to get these strong starts. You're digging yourself in a hole that's just so hard to climb out of. And we've seen Jean-Marc, to his credit, he's made some miraculous runs we've seen throughout this bracket, but Goof looking a little too solid and maybe too determined to get that rematch and head to grand finals, where we know Astro Ninja is awaiting.
So Goof with a comfortable lead here over Jean-Marc. This victory here will push Goof to grand final. Jean-Marc trying to avoid getting perfect again, but that'll do it. So Goof, go ahead and give me that yellow dot and the victory as Goof sweeps Jean-Marc. No drama this time around between these two fighters, and setting up the stage for our grand finals. So takeaways from that here, Coney, it seemed like Goof really taking advantage of these stages that we saw with Mausoleum, obviously Temple Grounds, but was able to do just enough defensively against Jean-Marc to get this 3-0 sweep.
I don't want to run the record out. I don't want to say the same thing over and over, but you saw it. We all saw what happened, right? He got Temple Grounds. He got stages he got Mausoleum. I mean, Goof just really played to the stages and the strength of Dr. Coyle, who is just the strongest character in the game. And you see why right there, can adapt her playstyle so well. And even on a stage like Buster Beach, where it seemed like Jean-Marc might have had a shot, Dr. Coyle is able to adapt, is able to change things up enough, and Goof is just able to play so expertly that Jean-Marc is constantly having to change pace. So nice attempt as Jean-Marc has made it super far into this bracket, but unfortunately that is where his run is going to end.
Let's take a look at the updated bracket. By the way, we have our grand final set here. It'll be Astro Ninja, who's had a chance to just put their feet up and have a glass of lemonade as the losers bracket played out. Goof will face off against Astro Ninja, a repeat of our winners final. Big shout out to Jean-Marc, though, giving us a lot of fantastic games. Jean-Marc will also take home 5,000 My Nintendo gold points. And so most likely here, going to be a Dr. Coyle Ditto match. And we saw both of them go with those explosive mechanics of double nades last time. I imagine we might see the same thing. And if that's the case, is there any answer that Goof might have for Astro Ninja to try and avoid a sweep here?
Well, for Goof, I mean, what you're really looking for to get done is like, how did I get past my last opponents, right? I jumped out the gate early and got that percentage advantage. That was the key to victory for Goof, and it allowed him to just control the tempo, keep the pace at kind of where he wants it to be, you coming to me. For Astro Ninja, he's almost the same way, right? Like, this is truly the epitome of a mirror match. So Astro Ninja just shown, like in winners finals, he just does it a little bit better. So Goof gonna have to elevate to another level if he wants to win this.
So Astro Ninja's only game he's lost was that one game to par. He swept his way through bracket one on his way to the finals, and now swept Goof in winners finals. So Astro Ninja has a chance to close things out in three-peat. But early on has the advantage, going with the double toaster, surprisingly, as Goof goes with the double nades. Astro Ninja has that rush attack ready to go, hiding far behind those pillars, and that's what stands out to me, Coney, is Astro Ninja so good with their spacing.
Yeah, is able to use sort of the fully extended distance, the full range of their arms in such a way that either they're going to hit you at the very tip of the arm, or they're not going to hit you at all, but no harm, no foul, going to retract it and be just fine. Meanwhile, Goof able to land a couple hits, doing pretty well, putting Astro Ninja in the corner. I think Goof wants to land one or two more hits before that rush lets go, decides to let it pop, but unfortunately not going to land anything off it.
Goof with the large bub. You figure that'll power through some of those toasters that we see thrown out by Astro Ninja. Astro Ninja with the rush attack. That gets blocked by Goof. So Goof with the slight advantage as we get close to the 20-second mark. Oh, but a huge connection by Astro Ninja to give them the lead. Goof doing a fine job of hanging in there. Astro Ninja trying to bob and weave and close this out. And Astro Ninja yet again, another critical connection. Goof has a rush attack ready to go. Will it deploy? And it gets gobbled up as well to So now you lose the rush attack for the second round as Astro Ninja gets the KO.
Astro Ninja knew what he was doing there because of where his percent was. He knew there was a chance Goof was going to throw out that rush, as we become accustomed to seeing him put it out there and try and snake that one back. But no, Astro Ninja committing and getting rewarded big time, and Goof loses his rush for it. That is a tough one to deal with.
Double bub for Goof. So a couple of scoops of vanilla ice cream. Nothing special coming in, though. But those are some big, hefty scoops. The ones your grandma gives you. As we get set here, Goof has that rush attack ready to go and a slight lead over Astro Ninja. This is where you want to be here, Coney. You want to be in the driver's seat early on.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that. Not only did the rush not land, you got grabbed out of it, which is the most damage you could have asked for. Just everything seems to be coming up Astro Ninja, not just in this match, but throughout the tournament. If you remember his earlier sets with Para, and now Astro Ninja going to let the rush fly. He doesn't necessarily need to land any hits because he's going to get a little bit of chip damage, and he's still in a very comfortable spot as these guys go face to face here for just a moment.
And Astro Ninja doing such a fine job of avoiding all 3 bubs that came out from Goof and was able to counter with a connection. 3 more bubs coming out, but Astro Ninja just being so patient. And that's what it is once again. When Astro Ninja has the lead, they do such a good job with just playing that defensive game and looking for their openings.
Goof is on the other side of the gameplay he typically likes to bring out to the table, right? Having to play from behind, and that's something Astro Ninja has perfected. We see the rush coming in. That's going to close the gap a little bit, but we're down to under 10 seconds, Jordan. It is ticking away, and that rush is going to go ahead and say, don't worry about the time, baby. I got the hands.
Yeah, Astro Ninja reading the throw attempt coming out from Goof, bobs to the left, throws out the rush attack, and Astro Ninja takes the very first game, and now they are 2 games away from getting a three-peat here. And Coney, we saw some glimpses from Goof of making this a very competitive match, but you almost have to play flawless against Astro Ninja, because if you have that one slip up, Astro Ninja knows how to find that opening and make you pay.
It's certainly closer than it was in the last set. If you remember, it was just sort of a wash. It was maybe a 3-minute match, all things told. But Goof seems to be coming at this one a little bit better. The problem that I see here, though, is that historically, Astro Ninja only gets better as the set progresses. If you're going to beat him, you got to do it early. Like another certain Smash player we know by the name of MK Leo, he's getting the same sort of vibes where it just feels like if you're not beating him quickly, you're not winning at all. And I think that story's being told right here as he lands the entire rush.
Astro Ninja making quick work of Goof here in our second game. Goof going with those double bubs. They're big, but they're also very slow, and it seems like Astro Ninja here, using the speed advantage of their arms to their advantage, but Goof able to connect with a critical rush attack here.
Yeah, needed to get any kind of damage he could, so we'll take it every single time. But right now you're correct. Like, the speed advantage of his arms is big, not to mention he has those containers to kind of weave around and hide and maybe mask some of his approaches as well. Goof with just a sliver left, he can ill afford to make a mistake, and that's one of the things that's just so difficult. Somebody like Astro Ninja you have to play perfect against.
Yeesh.
But can you do it is the question, and more often than not against this guy you just can't.
Coney, how about that left nade to close things out from Astro Ninja?
The nade is nasty. We saw it just take away Goof's entire rush in the first game, and there we see just why it's being placed so well. Not only do you have to worry about the first hit, but that second hit coming out too. And I'm kind of surprised it's on, oh, never mind, it's on the other arm. I was going to say, not using it for the third arm, but it is, as you see right there. Right now, Goof does have the full rush, trying to back Astro Ninja in the corner. But one thing that we've seen is Astro Ninja does not get hit by rushes. It's just not happening.
No, does a great job of not giving up big plays, as we like to say here. You really have to chip away at Astro Ninja and really hope that you can get your rush attack to connect and wait for a chance for Astro Ninja to give you an opening. But the problem is here, my man doesn't open the doors. He's not open for business right now.
He keeps that bolt on that lock pretty tight, and that is the reason that you're seeing Goof just struggle so much. Now, obviously, both players with the rush. This could be an opportunity for Goof, just chip away at the disadvantage that you're in. But for Astro Ninja, you got to be thinking, he's looking for that closing blow, not going to get the grab, instead the hands await. So this is actually big for Goof. Get yourself on the board, capitalize on this situation, don't let it go to waste. Astro Ninja still waiting in the wings with his rush, could strike at any time.
One more pillar left as scientists cheer on this fantastic matchup, but it's Astro Ninja with the rush attack, and then Astro Ninja gonna back up a little bit. No reason to deviate from your game plan. Why would you change up what's been working for you so well? Astro Ninja moving to the right. 10 seconds left, but the left-handed nade connects. And Astro Ninja, there's a reason why many people call him the greatest. Now up 2-0 over Goof in our grand finals. Just one game away from the three-peat here. And Astro Ninja here, Coney, just so accurate, so patient. You see all the technicalities as to why Astro Ninja is truly at the top of his game.
I think Astro Ninja was thrilled when he saw that Goof was getting into this. Not because Goof is a poor player, not because Goof doesn't have the chance of beating him, but I think Goof's chances are a lot slimmer. I think Astro Ninja is so well versed in this mirror match, and you're seeing it over and over. The stage doesn't matter, the arms don't matter, and Goof says, all right, you let Dr. Quail let me throw things out a little bit. I don't know if this is a winner's choice, but it's certainly a fun one. Let's see how Mechanica
This
does.
is for the fans, boys. This is for the fans right now, and I love to see it.
Goof trying to prove to people that Mechanica isn't just a punching bag filled with nuts and bolts. Really wants to just showcase what this character can possibly do at the highest levels of competition. Astro Ninja changing with a bit of a change-up here. However, a huge hitbox, as we mentioned before, and already Astro Ninja, no issues whatsoever. Flirting with perfection. Gonna throw Mechanica and smash the glass. And Astro Ninja, rush attack ready to go. And, well, there's a reason why many people said Mechanica, you might want to just sit in the stands and watch. So Astro Ninja with a perfect against Goof here. One more round for Astro Ninja, and that'll do it to claim a third championship. Let's see if Mechanica can pull out a miracle here.
Poor girl, man. Mechanica was very hyped when the game came out, was often considered on the very lower end of character strength, but, you know, had her mains, had her sort of specialists that were able to perform and do great. But Dr. Coil, coming out late in ARMS meta and still defining it so well, has made this exceptionally difficult. This is just a very difficult matchup with a huge character. Pretty slow, all things considered. You can eat those hits, as you saw the uncharged punches, but Astro Ninja is just gonna take a victory lap, I think, on this one.
Yeah, Astro Ninja, as you said before, just cruising around right now. Has got the checkered flag in their hand. It's just a matter of time at this point here. The greatness of Astro Ninja on full display. Goof, doesn't matter what you throw out. Trying to make this one close, though. Hold on. Goof isn't ready to let Astro Ninja celebrate quite yet. Astro Ninja just one connection away from getting to royalty when it comes to ARMS competitive action. Let's pop off with that. Astro Ninja, 1, 2, make it 3 championships for the Mechanica beater, as Astro Ninja and Dr. Coil will go ahead and claim another open championship here. So what else can you say here, EE? Astro Ninja just showing it doesn't matter who you throw. Kid Cobra, Dr. Coils, Mechanicas. I got an answer for every problem you're throwing my way.
Well, he also just showed us a new game mode, because that looked like a speed run to me. I mean, good Lord. Like, you know, I felt like we could barely finish a sentence before just half the help was going at the end of that, man. Good stuff to Astro Ninja, as dominant as ever. But I got to give props to all of our competitors. They all showed up. They showed out. But, you know, you want to talk about consistency and dominance, look no further than Astro Ninja. Another level.
Let's take a look at the final bracket here. Astro Ninja, your champion of the ARMS North American Open October 2020. Add that to the trophy case for the August Open 2020 and for the April Open 2020. A 3-0 sweep over Goof. Goof will go home with 5,000 My Nintendo Gold points, but Astro Ninja, your champion, will take home 10,000 My Nintendo Gold points. And Coney, when you look at games that come out and the competitive nature of them in those communities, there are individuals that rise to the top with historic performances, with a track record. We just saw that with Astro Ninja, with what they've done over the last 6 months here in 2020, claiming these 3 open championships.
It feels as though in a lot of these single player fighting games or esports or whatever you want to call them, eventually there will come a person that rises to the top in such a fashion that is just, it's like the best of their time. And you even see it in some real sports like tennis. I mean, you've got the big 3 that have sort of dominated the sport throughout its lifetime. I think that's what's happening here is Astro Ninja just looks unparalleled as we see him. Para is giving him a run for his money consistently, but Para has not yet found the answer to take sets off of him consistently. And because of that, Astro Ninja got a 3-peat here. He only dropped 1 game to Para. It was a lot closer earlier, and we thought that Para might have had a little bit of something secret early on, but eventually it came very clear that Astro Ninja is just on a different level, and I think that's what we saw today.
Certainly is. So congratulations once again to Astro Ninja, your champion of the ARMS North American Open October 2020. And a big shout out once again to EE, Coney. Great job, you guys. Always terrific working with you. And also a huge thank you to all of our hardworking staff behind the scenes that make this possible, but especially you for tuning in. Make sure you continue to check out Nintendo Versus and Nintendo.com for all of your Nintendo competitive action as we continue along with the Autumn Open here of Nintendo Versus action. From all of us here, thank you once again. We'll catch you all next time.